Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Jose Salcedo and this is a Transcendent Life, and today we're going to be speaking about my book, Scarcity is Not an Option. Okay, so I originally published this book, Scarcity is Not an Option, in Spanish a numbers of years ago, actually right before COVID. And for my surprise, I didn't know we would go through COVID and talking about a scarcity. So basically it was a book written on time when the whole world, faced that a terrible time 5 years ago already. And today is February 2025, so that was February 2020. And I published the book a year before in 2019, exactly a year before January 2019. So this book has been a source of inspiration for many people in the Spanish language first, in different areas in the United States and Central America, Mexico, and South America, Ecuador, as a lot of people also got it in Spain, in Europe. And now I have the joy of publish it in English. Scarcity is not an option. So in the next few days I'm going to go over different chapters and different truth. But let me tell you before what was the story behind the book. Actually, it was many years ago, even before 2019. It was 2012, and I was praying. I was talking to God. I don't remember what was I praying about, and it was something, probably a need. I don't remember, but one of these few, instances is not something that happens all the time, often. It was like my prayer got interrupted, and I got this, message from God saying that I was gonna be writing about a book called "Scarcity of Lack is Not an Option." So that was amazing to me, because it was really, I would say, a message out of the blue, and actually was out of God. It was inside of my heart, but really clear words. So right after that experience, I start thinking about it and gathering information, and start typing and writing here and there, here and there, here and there. But I was not really satisfied what I was putting together. I mean, just general information about scarcity, about abundance, about money, about different concepts that a lot of people know. So I was a little bit kind of stuck. And then one time I heard these words, that's the way I can describe it, inside of me, clear. And the words were, or the thought was, before you write the book, I want that book, written inside of you. And I was like, wow. So to make the story, a long story short, I started seeing areas in my own life where scarcity or lack has an imprint through my upbringing, through my life in general, in the different experiences that I relate, some of them in the book. And then I start seeing also that in other people around me, in people in general, and also in a few characters from the Bible, where scarcity or lacking has been the option, limitation on their lives. So in 2019, I said I'm gonna, publish it in Spanish, like I said, and I did a year before COVID. So then I, shared the book here and there. I moved from the United States, from Florida to Portugal, where I'm living right now. And then I said I want to expand the book or update the book right after COVID. And then I did, and expanded and edited. I made another edition in Spanish, and then I said I'm going to publish it in English. So this is the result. This is, my baby. Scarcity is not an option, and I'm so proud and I'm so happy with the message and the content of this book, which I know it's already helping and inspiring people a lot, and I know it's going to be a source of inspiration for yourself. So the title tells you what is the book about. Scarcity is not an option. It's a change on your life, a change on the view of scarcity, a change on the view of abundance from a God point of view. So in this video, I'm going to start from the beginning and the first chapter, and I'm going to be talking about in the next coming days. And the first chapter is called A Look at a Garden of Abundance. And it's talking about the Garden of Eden, of course, in the book of Genesis. And I know a lot of people might think, Genesis, or the story of Genesis probably is an allegory or just a story. But that's your case. You can believe what you believe. I'm not here, to argue about that. But even if it's an allegory or story and no literal, well, even if it's a story that shows a concept of abundance. And as you know, God created the Garden of Eden, and He created man and put it inside of there. And what I would like you to see is in your mind, and try to see yourself inside that garden. So the original design in which God created man, it was a design of abundance. They had everything that they need. They have everything need to eat. There is every fruit there. There were animals which Adam named, and they have every provision. There were rivers that crossed through the garden, so they didn't need to work hard to water the garden in order for it to grow. Adam's responsibility was to take care of the garden and also to plant seeds, so fruit keeps on growing. And there was no lack in the garden. Scarcity was something foreign to their mind, and they didn't know what scarcity was. There was no concept of scarcity. All the surroundings was abundance, and they even have God within them, walking and I'm sure instructing them and having fellowship with Him. So they didn't need to pay rent. They didn't need a mortgage. They didn't need to buy clothes. They were naked. I mean, it's not something that it should be done now, that gets you in trouble, going out naked, and it shouldn't be done. But the fact of the matter is that they didn't need to spend on that. And like I said, the original design was abundance. And that's something very important, because if the original design was abundance, and when we learn that and we see it that way for you in your own life, then scarcity becomes foreign, strange to us. And I know what you may be thinking, and I identify myself. You say, when I have lived, or maybe you grew up in an environment of scarcity and lacking, or maybe you didn't grow up, but then through different situations that has been your experience in life, then it's hard to see it different, because the problem is that when we face different adversities in life, like lacking and missing resources in our life, then they make an imprint inside of us, make an imprint in your conscious, make an imprint in your mind, in the way you and I view things. So when that imprint is there, then it's hard not to see through the lens of scarcity. And that's why I think it's so important to take a look at the original design in which God created man. That means you and I, humans, right? Man or woman, humans. He created us in an environment of abundance. And my desire for writing that first chapter is to take you and take the reader into that environment. And I even describe different details. There is a section where it says that there was gold in the garden. There were different materials, different resources, some of them which are used to make perfumes. So I wrote it with the intention of taking you to see yourself inside of that garden, in that environment of abundance, so that can start making an imprint of abundance inside of you, and replace or expel and switch whatever imprint of scarcity. So a look at a garden of abundance, it's the right place in which you and I can be planted and start flourishing with a different vision. And that vision would make a switch from limitations into possibilities, from lacking into abundance, from scarcity into fullness, and being full of whatever we need. And that is the message on the first chapter of Scarcity is Not an Option. See you in the next video.